Hello again, Whiskey here, another Path of Titans video, and this one is on Giganotosaurus. I do enjoy playing Giga sometimes, only when I have a friend to play with though, because lone Giga is a dead Giga. But 2 Gigas is arguably the strongest force in the game right now. If you don't know, the Giga recently got a really good update. You can now use Bone Break along with Bleed Bite. And it got a turn radius increase, so it's a much better dinosaur to play now. And so here's a couple of gameplay clips here. This one is we did a para hunt, obviously, and the one after this is a Rex fight, a really good Rex fight actually. So I wanted to share this with you guys. Setup that we're using is one of us is using Rend and one of us is using Bleed. Then we both use Pain Inhibitor and Bulldoze. And then whatever variant you want, you can use Bleed or Speed. I think I usually use Speed just because I like to have a little bit of extra speed to get in and out. If as my friend Lycanthrope says, is if the Rex is Mike Tyson, the Giga is Muhammad Ali. So you want to float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. And fight a bigger, healthier, stronger opponent like this, you want to stick and move a lot and get in and out and stack the bleed, chip away with your damage, and then it's an endurance fight really. You want to just let that bleed do its work, get little bits of damage in, chip away with your damage, and eventually you'll get the win. So you got to be really patient on a Giga. It's almost the opposite of a T-Rex. With a Rex you can just go in, Bone Break, and just TPS and crush your opponents pretty quickly. But with a Giga, you've got to really use your health and your damage and your speed to your advantage, where you get in, get some hits, get out. You'll be sitting for stamina throughout the fight. Sometimes you let the bleed work and try to stay out of engagement a little bit, and eventually the opponent will fall. On the para, once they get in death scars like this, you can really probably tank a little bit more than we were doing here, but we were being careful, and I was kind of low on stam because we had to chase this thing across the plains. So by the time we actually did engage, we were both pretty low on stam actually. So we just play the long game here, be patient, and slowly but surely get the win in the end. Pain Inhibitor is really good for when you're fighting a Rex. You know, if he Bone Breaks you, you can pop that. That'll help a lot. Or if you're fighting a para like this, you can pop it to get in and do a little bit of tanking, and get 2, 3, 4 bites in while your Pain Inhibitor is active, so that you're not taking so much damage in return. You got to be careful not to hit each other with your bulldozes, and try to alternate, go in and out, one at a time when you're fighting like this. The para's doing a smart thing here by getting up in these rocks. He should have done this a lot sooner in the fight, because he allowed us to have an area where we were able to just get in and out and in and out, do our figure eights and get little hits and dodges pretty easily on that platform that we were on earlier. See, here there's all these little rock cliffs and ledges and things that makes it kind of hard to navigate. So that's what you want to try to do if you're fighting against a Giga, is get him in an area where he can't circle around like that at will. So I'm getting kind of low on health here, so I went to get some stam and let T-Rex do a little bit more of his work. He was a bit healthier at the time. So we're about close to even now, and so I come back in to engage, and I see that he's on death scars, so that's when I go ahead and just pop Pain Inhibitor and tank him, because I know we're going to be able to get the win. And that's it. GG's. This next fight here is a Rex fight. We heard some commotion down here. We came around the corner and we saw this Rex crouching right there. And I think he was setting up an ambush for those aloes that are down around the corner. So we're hungry enough to hunt, so we decided to go ahead and hunt him. He immediately goes after our adolescent that we had with us. That's Lycanthrope there. My friend was playing that one, and upset T-Rex is on the hill, and so he immediately gets a bone break in. And I thought that might have been it, but we got lucky, and the Rex decides to go after the baby. And then he makes a second mistake here by popping his deep rumble. Now, I also made a mistake because I should have continued to just sit there and bite him and body block for my friend to get out of that bone break, but I goofed up. It's been a long time since I've played a Giga, so I go ahead and bulldoze him out of the way there, and I continue working on him. It's enough to allow Upset to get out of that bone break. He misses the third bone break, so we're in good shape now, and I just got to keep on stacking bites on this guy as much as possible when he's not facing. Really got to get as many bites in as possible on a Rex, and when you can. Now these Allos, they really complicated the fight for us. I don't know what they were doing. They were fighting a Sachi, which is kind of strange because the thing's in the ocean. It's just going to swim away, and they can't swim very well. I mean, not as good as a Sachi. So I'm not really sure what their plan was, but as we were fighting, we realized that they are now hanging around to third party. So they're hovering in the background, and we're kind of thinking, do we want to continue this or should we stop? Like, they're just going to they're going to pick somebody off that's low. So we decided, well, we're going to go out, we're going to stick with it until, we get low enough to where we can't fight an Allo. There's only 2 of them, so even at half health or a little less than half health, we can handle Allos. So we decided to continue the hunt, and we tell our friend to go hide because those Allos could at any time try to get him, and there's 2 of them and only 1 of him, and they're faster, so they could have killed him at any point, but I think they wanted to get one of us. I don't know if they were with the Rex, but it became apparent that they were definitely helping the Rex, whether intent, whether they were doing it on purpose or it was just what they chose to do at the time, I don't know. But we kind of gathered quite an audience. We had the Sachi watching the fight. We had these little Dinanis watching the fight. They were kind of looking, watching it up from the cliffs throughout the fight, so that was kind of cute. But yeah, we're just stacking bleeding bites on this Rex, and right now we're letting him bleed a little bit. And it's a Rex and Giga fight's just a real patient fight on the part of the Giga. You don't want to rush anything. You want to try to, like I said earlier, stick and move, and not get too close to the Rex too often. When you get close to enough, you get a bite, and then you get back out. Because if you get the bone break on you, if he knows what he's doing, he's gonna win the fight if he lands a couple of bone breaks on you. So that was kind of a tricky little spot for me right there in between the cliff and the Rex. It was actually a bad move, but I got lucky and I got through it. But you can see these Allos are just stalking. They're sitting around. The Sachi's also watching. He comes into play a little bit later, but these Allos, we've warned them already a couple of times, and they just look at them. They're just in the middle. They're getting in the way. They're interfering. And I've got to be really careful here because I don't want to target switch, but at the same time I want to shoo them away. I want to get them out of here. And the Rex is getting real close, in close quarters with us right here in a tight spot, and that is not the place you want to be fighting a Rex on a Giga. So I finally decided to go ahead, and we've each given them 3 warnings by mock biting and 3 calling the Allos, and they're not paying attention. They're not heeding our warnings at all. So I think it's legit now to go ahead and attack it, because to me this is a third party. I mean, they've been involved in this fight for a long time now, and you're allowed to fight against a third party. So I consider it a third party, and I go ahead and start attacking the Allo now. Now, it's really risky because this could be interpreted as a target switch, and we did talk to some moderators about it, and it was actually interpreted as a target switch at first, but we talked through it and kind of watched the gameplay, and the moderators agreed, yeah, those Allos were around for a long time, and they were clearly stalking us and waiting to jump in as a third party, so they agreed it was not a target switch. But it was a risky move. But like I said, I mean, they were getting really annoying, and I had warned them so many times. I felt like it was time to finally engage with them. So we do, and we're not really wanting to kill them either at this point. Like our hunt really is the Rex, and you can see the Rex is still back there stalking us, and he's not leaving. He's gonna take an opportunity here when he gets it. So we're being really careful not to get close to him while we're dealing with these aloes. They finally run off, and we'll go ahead and let them go. I don't want to pursue them. They're probably low on stamina, and we probably could have pursued them and killed one of them. But really, the challenge for us was to fight the Rex, and that was our initial hunt, so we wanted to finish it. So, get a few hits in on them. Once they get low enough, the aloes are smart enough to go ahead and run away and leave. And they're low enough now that the adolescent can even participate in the fight and do pretty good, actually contribute. And so they realize it and they run off. So we let them go, and we continue back with the Rex. This was just a long, epic fight. My friend Upset was taking most of the damage, so I needed to get in there and do some more work myself here. I was kind of dealing with the aloes most of the time while he was working on the Rex. So that's one of the things you do when you're playing on Gigas against the Rex, is you definitely got to share your damage. You can tell I was a bit rusty on the Giga here. I missed a couple of my bulldozes. The bulldoze is kind of buggy. I don't know. Sometimes it acts like it's gonna work, but then it doesn't work. But the Rex at this point is getting pretty low. I know he's in trouble, and we're getting him into the water here with our bulldoze, getting him to waste a bit of stamina, trying to just get him to where he doesn't have good footing to get a bone break on us. And again, just being really patient and chipping away at him. He at this point he's probably really low, so he's cornering himself, which is a really, really dangerous position for us. That's the best place he could actually be. He was a decent Rex player. He knew what he was doing. So we had to be extra careful here. There's also a Sachi, in the water right here, and the Sachi's clearly not attacking the Rex. So he probably just wasn't hungry and was just watching the fight. So now we know he's probably low, this Rex. He's in a corner. He's getting desperate. He's not really being aggressive any longer. The aloes are gone. So we're going to try to make our final move here and finish the Rex off. So I pop pain inhibitor, and I'm going to go in and try to knock him into the water. My bulldoze bugged out right here. It got stuck and it didn't release until I got past him, which was kind of weird. But thankfully, Upset knows what he's doing, and he's able to hit him and get him right into the water. We kind of bump into each other a little bit right there, so that's one thing you do got to be careful with on the Gigas. You can tell I'm a bit rusty, but the Rex is really low now. He swims across the water and goes to that island, which is a smart move. He probably figured that Sachi wasn't attacking him by now, so he's probably safe to go ahead and swim across. And that puts some distance and allows him to sit down and get his stamina back. So I'm trying to figure out if one of us should maybe stay on this side and one go on that side, but then Upset just yellows it and jumps right on over there with him, and it kind of startled me a little bit, and I saw him get bone broke, so even though I didn't have any stam, I went ahead and went over there to help him. I can't leave him sitting there hanging, so even with the Sachi there, I don't know if he's going to attack me or not, but out of stamina, I do my best to get over there and help my friend. And the Rex ends up not being able to finish off, and he goes back to the other side, which technically I think is not allowed because he's crossing the same body of water in a defensive way. But our baby's over there, so he's able to get a few hits there and finish him off. And I almost kill, you'll see at the end, I almost accidentally kill our own baby. But that was the fight. It was an epic fight. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. I do appreciate you watching my video. Please check out my other videos if you haven't seen them yet. And like and subscribe and all that good stuff. And thank you very much again for watching. I hope to see you out there on Gondola. Bye.